Let's move on to some tech news. In today's Tech Watch, we are seeing an alarming rise of deep fakes, which, if you don't know, is material manipulated by artificial
intelligence. The opposite of this. This is the real tape?
This is real, everyone. This is real.
Yeah.
So it's manipulated to look real when it's not. Unlike us, we are real. And lots of experts are warning about the long-lasting impact deep fakes could have on our society, especially because of that election coming up.
Yeah.
So we've already seen bogus robocalls in New Hampshire, fake AI-generated Taylor Swift ads, and the White House warns deep fake porn is the fastest growing harmful use of AI to date. This is really dangerous. Laurie Segall, the founder of Mostly Human Media, has spent a lot of time on this stuff and has ideas on how we can spot what's real and what's not. Laurie, help us.
I mean, it is incredibly alarming, and I'm so glad that you guys are taking the time to talk about it. I remember a couple years ago thinking, wow, this is going to be one of the most important things happening, especially for children, and it is the rise of sexually explicit deepfakes. We're now seeing it in high schools. The White House has come out and said it. It's a major issue.
So the images are fake, but the harm is real. For people who are just kind of wrapping their head around this, what is going on in high schools? How does it affect young people?
Yeah, I think that's probably one of the most important parts of this, which is these images might be fake. In a couple clicks, there are these apps popping up that enable you to completely nudify someone. They say, hey, just upload a photo here, and a couple clicks, notification, right? And you would think, well, that's pretty awful. Hundreds of apps like this are enabling you to do that. And so now it's trickling down into high schools. And I don't think sometimes parents even know to warn their kids about this type of thing. And as you say, the harm is incredibly real. Now the technology is so good, right? Reminder, you guys are real. This is all real. The technology is so good, you can't tell what's real and what's not. And that harm is really real.
So you brought some examples of how good this technology is. Let's play the video that you brought to show us.
Hi, Tony and Adriana. I'm a digital avatar of Laurie Segall created with AI. I look a lot like her and sound a lot like her, but I'm not real.
Okay, you didn't do that?
No. I mean, whoa.
30-second sampling of my voice. With this segment we've already done, you could create a deepfake of all of our voices, have our voices say anything. Now, this one's a little more sophisticated. But pretty incredible. I've actually deployed her to do some of my social media.
No, you have not.
I have. I think there are interesting ways that you can use deepfake technology. It's these nefarious ways that I think we have to have the conversation about.
So there is still a little 1% or less there where you're like, something's not quite right? There's the uncanny valley there. You can't quite cross it. But, I mean, they're going to bridge that pretty soon. And then the government question becomes the big one, the national security question, the war question. I mean, if Kim Jong-un appears in a video launching the nukes, but it's not really him, it didn't really happen, how does the world deal with that?
I mean, it's a great question. I think we have to become more skeptical of some of the things we're seeing online. I mean, from a legal standpoint, something that makes me feel good-ish is that the laws are beginning to catch up. They haven't yet on sexually explicit deepfakes. I mean, you have about half of the states that have legislation on this. They all vary in scope. Some are criminal penalties, some are civil penalties. If you really want to do a deep dive, some are more effective than others. There's no federal law on this yet, but there is a push towards, labeling this type of thing, criminalizing this type of behavior. And I think we haven't moved fast enough, and we've got to move faster.
I mean, if people can create these deep fakes on apps, it's just we got to get this taken care of. Laurie Segall, thank you.